Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, everybody. We are so honored to have everyone here for this wonderful Shabbat evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We know that we have guests as well from around Orange County. I know that we have guests from Bethel. We have guests from the Jewish Collaborative of Orange County. I don't know anybody Beth Tikva, B'nai Tzedek. So we have a number of people, Federation, so who are here to join with us on this Shir HaMalot. Thank you. Yes, perfect. And B'nai Israel, Congregation B'nai Israel. Okay, who am I missing? University Synagogue is in the house. Okay, awesome. Is anybody from Temple Beth Shalom here? Okay, good. Just making sure. Good. No, this is what's so wonderful about our community. This is what I love about Orange County, is that we come together. We are one Jewish community who comes together to share in each other's events and to share in moments to be able to pray together, learn together, grow together, wrestle with what is going on in our world together. So how awesome it is for us to all be able to be in this space together, this wonderful holy space. So those of you who don't know me, I am Rabbi Heidi Cohen from here at Temple Beth Shalom. Cantor David Reinwald is actually at a wedding in Chicago this weekend, a family wedding. So Cantor Reinwald, if you are watching, Shabbat Shalom. So I know that he was disappointed in missing this Shabbat, but you know, family comes first, absolutely. But I am so honored to be joined by Scott Singer.
Shabbat Shalom.
So who's going to be joining us with singing. We hope that you'll be joining us in song as well. You know, so let us begin with a great opening song. As we prepare for that, check your cell phones, make sure they're turned off or in silent, so we can disconnect in order to connect on this Shabbat. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. A world that is filled with compassion, a world that is filled with justice, a world that is filled with love, is a world that we all can build together. We are all those builders. You, me, all of us together, and of course, God as partners with us. So please join with us these words of Olam Chesed Yibaneh.
Olam Chesed Yibaneh. La da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. La da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. La da 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 da. I will build this world. I will build this world from love. Da 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 da. And you must build. You must build this world from love. Da 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 da. And if we build. From love, da 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 da. Then God will build. God will build this world from love. Da 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 da. Olam Chesed Yibaneh. Chesed Yibaneh. Da da da. chesed yiboneh.
Olam chesed yiboneh.
Da-da-dai, dai, 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 dai. Olam chesed yiboneh. Da-da-dai, dai, 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 dai. Olam chesed yiboneh. Da-da-dai, dai, 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 dai,
Tonight we are honored to have with us Anat Hoffman, who will be speaking with us and teaching us all the way from Israel. And joining her on this wonderful Shabbat is Rabbi Noah Satah. And so Rabbi Noah is, there we go, Anat Hoffman. That's Anat, that's Noah. Well, and Noah, you're going to come on and Rabbi Noah, come join me. Rabbi Noah is the director of the Israel Religious Action Center. Anat Hoffman is the executive director, and Rabbi Noah is the director of the Religious Action Center, which is, by the way, the social justice arm of the Reform movement in Israel. And prior to Rabbi Noah's work with Iraq, she was the executive director of the Jerusalem Open House, the LGBT Community Center in Jerusalem, and she was ordained from our alma mater now, the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion. However, your campus was Jerusalem, mine was Cincinnati, both of them holy cities in their own rights. So Rabbi Noah was ordained in January of 2014, and so we are very honored to have her join us. We're going to turn to page 2 for lighting of our Shabbat candles. So page 2. Oh, here we go. It's a little tricky. Yeah, you got it here. I'll do. Here's what I do. I go ahead. So I light. Now you guide my hand. It's teamwork.
There we go.
Oh yeah. Until they don't want to light. There we are. And we'll join together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. As we turn to page 5, and Rabbi Noah, I give you the fruit of the vine. Just a little heads up. It's juice. Just want to make sure there's no surprises.
You take what you can get.
There you go. Fruit of the vine, however. Together, page 5. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'achata v'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
We welcome Shabbat, the wonderful Shabbat angels that join with us, that help us greet this wonderful day together, this time of breath, this time of allowing ourselves to just be. As we turn to page 24, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei HaSharet, Malchei Elyon. Oni Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon. Vihi Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barhuni l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon. Vihi Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon. Vihi Melech, Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 26, Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkada v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amad divrachutei v'yamlich machutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayetecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala u'v'zman kariv v'maru amen. Yehesh meraba mevorach leholam olam mehamaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'al v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kodesha b'richu leila min kol berchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata damihiran b'yama v'maru amen. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time. Even at unlikely times and through unlikely places, there is no place on earth without the presence. We rise, Baruch Hu, page 28.
No, that's the wrong song. Yalla lie, wrong lie. Yalla lie, yalla lie, yalla lie. Yalla lie, yalla lie, yalla lie. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie, yalla lie, yalla lie, yalla lie. Yalla lie, yalla lie,
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch
לעולם ועד. יאללה לי לי לי, יאללה לי לי לי,
Yalla la la la, yalla la la la, yalla la la la,
יאללה לי לי לי,
yalla la la la, yalla la la la. So we turn to page 31 in the middle together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. As we continue, Ve'ahavta, page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lavavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, vidibarta bam, beshivtecha bevetecha, uvlechtecha vaderech, ushochbecha uvakumecha, ukshartam lehot al yadecha, vehayuletotafot beinenecha, uchtavtam המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi chamocha, page 40.
Take two. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Mi chamocha b'heli Adonai, mi chamocha nedavar kodesh, no ratehilo, no seifele, no ratehilo, no seifele. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Adonai. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Adonai.
We are guardians of Shabbat. We are taught that we should guard it, we should take care of it, we should hold on to it. That we be able to hold on to it so tightly that we should never forget it. How easy it is in our world, in our time, in moments to just let Shabbat pass by. To say, you know, I don't have time. I don't have time for Shabbat. I've got too much on my plate to do. When that happens, when we feel those moments of, I have too much to do, and so I'm just going to let Shabbat go, those are the moments that we need Shabbat the most. So allow us to be these guardians of Shabbat. Allow us to hold on to them. Allow us to observe them, even if it is just this moment. That is being a guardian of Shabbat. So we join together, page 44, Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat לדורותם בריתו עולם. Rabbi.
ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Everyone. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש.
So we join together our Amidah beginning on page 46.
Thank you. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yahagim Tehilatecha, Ufi Yahagim Tehilatecha. Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yahagim Tehilatecha, Ufi Yahagim Tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'Neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol Ata Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Umorid HaGashem, Mechakel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umito Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neheman ata lechayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha sela, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. Page 55 in the middle together. Disturb us, Adonai. Ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai. Deny to us the false Shabbat, which gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies rendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. So we join together with the first two lines of Modim Anachnu Lach on page 58, and then we'll move into Shalom Rav on page 60. Modim Anachnu Lach Shatahu
Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu Ve'Avotenu Le'olam Va'ed Tzur Chayenu Magen Yisheinu Atahu L'Dor Vador Atahu L'Dor Vador.
Page 60.
Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon lecho hashalom. Ki atahu melech Adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael v'chol ein u'v'chol she'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rahav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
In this sacred moment, we also offer a prayer for the state of Israel. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. In this sacred moment, give us hope for Israel and her future. Renew our wonder at the miracle of the Jewish state. In the name of the pioneers who made the deserts bloom, give us the tools to cultivate a diversity of Jewish expression in Yisrael. In the name of our fallen soldiers, give us courage to stand up to the words and ways of zealots, those in our midst and those among our neighbors. In the name of Israeli inventors who have amazed the world with their innovations, help us apply the same ingenuity to finding a path to peace. In the name of all these women and men, grant us the strength to conquer doubt and despair in Yisrael, replacing doubt with action, replacing despair with hope. And let us say, Amen. And so we take these moments of prayer of Mishaberach for all who are able to offer prayers, which is each and every one of us together. Being able to offer prayers also of healing, healing of mind, of body, and of spirit, to friends, to family, to those in our community, to strangers who we may not know, yet we hold them in our hearts with our own. Mi sheberach avotenu v'imotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, hu yivarech et hacholim. I invite you, as I face in your direction, to please share the names of those who are in need of healing. Alex Mibrantley. Voices can overlap, it's okay. Chuck Williams. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send all of them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and also to all of us, because there is even a part of each and every one of us that is in need of healing. And let us all say, Amen.
Bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen.
We take some moments now for our own silent prayer.
I look up, you're not there, not ready, I'm not prepared. I need strength to climb. I reach and still I find that I'm weak and I'm scared. S-I-N-I El Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo, Yavo Ezri. S-I-N-I, El Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo, Yavo Ezri. I need rest, I can't sleep, awake, and still I grieve. So if I fall out of reach, don't leave me be. S-I-N-I, El Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo, Yavo Ezri. S-I-N-I, El Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo, Yavo Ezri. Where is my joy when the world's turned dark? Where is my faith when I'm torn apart? Where is my strength till the pain subsides? Where is the light when I can't realize?
Let rest be upon me. Let peace be with me. Let rest be upon me.
Tonight, Esahenai, El Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo, Yavo Hezri. Esahenai, El Heharim, Me'ayin Yavo, Yavo Hezri. Esahenai,
I lift my eyes to the mountains, and where is my help? My help comes from people who can help us create change. My help comes from those who can inspire, those who not, there you go, close the prayer books. I saw that, that's good. My help comes from those who can inspire and who can remind me to climb the mountain. But most important of all, it is not a person who says, hey, you go climb that mountain. I'll wait for you down here. No. It is that person who will say, take my hand and let's climb the mountain together. Take my hand, let's struggle, let's wrestle, let's climb it, let's fall down sometimes and pick ourselves back up again, and let's get up that mountain together. And it is a long, long journey. Tonight, we are so honored to have Anat Hoffman joining us on this wonderful Shabbat. I want to first thank Bernie Horowitz. Thank you so very, very much, Bernie, for this wonderful gift of an evening where we all get to hold hands and not only lift our eyes up to the mountain, but climb that mountain together. So thank you so very much for being a part of that climb with us. So, Anat Hoffman, who is this extraordinary woman? Who is this woman that has been described, that I heard earlier, as the Ruth Bader Ginsburg of Israel? We're going to go with that one. She is the executive director of the Israel Religious Action Center since April of 2002. Now, she previously served as a member of the Jerusalem City Council for 14 years, and she is one of the only women in Israel who has served 3 terms on a city council. During those years, Anat built a reputation for being an effective and courageous fighter for social justice and equality as part of the opposition. Anat chose to devote her adult life to the most important Jewish value, tikkun olam, repairing our world. Parallel to these positions, she was active in important social organizations such as the Association of Civil Rights in Israel, the Israel Women's Network, and Women in Black. Beginning in 1988, she served as chairwoman of Women of the Wall, who fight for the rights of women to pray, read Torah, wear talitot, to wear talitot like this, these prayer shawls at the Western Wall. She has held Torah in her arms. She has fought for Torah to be brought there so that all of us, our voices can lift up together. Tonight, Anat's voice lifts up. Now, last time that I actually had an opportunity, by the way, to hear you was at a CCAR convention. You had laryngitis. Do you remember that one? Tonight, I am very excited to say she is in full voice. And it is not only the voice that comes from right here, it is the voice that comes from the Kishkas. So without further ado, it is my honor, my privilege, my greatest moment. Thank you. God bless you. Anat. Thank you.
So Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. I visit a lot of synagogues. You've got one rabbi with, you just bring light. Does Heidi mean brings light in Swiss? The wonderful rabbi you have is a graduate of the Hebrew Union College, and she is not going to be recognized as a rabbi in Israel because the Hebrew Union College is not recognized as an institution of Jewish learning in Israel. Let me teach you a word in Hebrew, chutzpah. Chutzpah, unbelievable chutzpah. The Hebrew Union College is recognized by every university in the world. It's recognized by the Pope. And Israel doesn't recognize the thousands of graduates of the Hebrew Union College and the Jewish Theological Seminary. I've got my marching orders. We are fighting for recognition of Reform conservative rabbis in Israel. We made some headway with the Miri Gold case. We chose a rabbi from a kibbutz. We gathered the whole kibbutz together and we asked them, who is your rabbi? At that moment, they could have chosen their vet. But they chose Miri Gold, a graduate of the Hebrew Union College. Then so the kibbutz chose, big deal. Then we went to the regional council, where the kibbutz is part of that council, and we asked them, do you think the kibbutz has the right to choose their own rabbi? They said yes, they can choose their vet. Then we went to the Supreme Court, representing the kibbutz and representing the regional council. We did not represent the Hebrew Union College. We did not represent the Reform movement. We did not represent Miri Gold, just the kibbutz and the regional council. And we won. 11 rabbis now get a salary from the state as regional council rabbis. That's a very small victory because the Hebrew Union College is still not recognized by the state of Israel. We were able to sneak in the kibbutz and the regional and 11 is too small. There are thousands of state-paid rabbis in Israel, and we would like to be able to compete on some of these salaries and some of these jobs. So it's a partial thing. How can you help? You've been awfully quiet and polite for too long. You've been very docile, and that serves the powers that be. It doesn't serve change. We would like you to take the filter off. Many of you feel that if you don't pay taxes in Israel, if you don't send your children to the army to Israel, and you feel you can't intervene in the internal issue of another country, and you silence yourself. So here's one Israeli trying to give you one point. Israel is way more too important to be left to the Israelis. We need you. Half of the Israelis don't send their children to the army. The numbers for 2017 is that 49% of the 18-year-old eligible people went to the army. Half don't. We're leading in the democratic world in tax evasion. We don't pay taxes. And finally, no one can tell a Jew not to sit at the table where Jewish values are discussed. And we are looking at it, what are the Jewish values of the Jewish state? There's only one Jewish sovereign state on the planet. If there was another one, Noah and I are taking a plane over there. But there's just one. And what are the values of that state? Chauvinism, ethnocentrism, racism? It can't be on your watch. It's not a spectator sport. If you don't speak up, what are your Jewish values? You may see Israel turn into something that you don't like. Democracies are fragile. Maybe you don't know that. So we are the legal and political arm of the Reform movement in Israel. We are 30 employees. Most of us are lawyers. And we sue the state of Israel 60 times a year. That's more than once a week. Don't call us, we'll sue you. And our lawsuits are around 5 particular goals. And surprisingly, the largest group that we represent all the time, other than, of course, our congregations, our rabbis, our institutions, are Orthodox women. Orthodox women call us. It sounds like this: Baruch Hashem sheyesh reformim. Thank God there are reform. And they complain about segregation of women in the public sphere for religious reasons. Orthodox women, in my mind, are the most courageous feminists in Israel today. Because I'm reform. No one's stopping me in my family, in my neighborhood for fighting for rights. But they stand to jeopardize the shidduch, the arranged marriage of their children. And still, they're standing up and willing to fight against segregation on buses. It's because of their courage that we were able to go to the Supreme Court. It is now illegal to segregate on buses. Not that it was very easy. We had to actually hang signs in all the buses of Israel. The Supreme Court actually wrote the sign, and it says, anyone can sit anywhere in the bus. Anyone harassing a person about their seating arrangement is guilty of a crime. What we discovered after all these signs were placed on thousands of buses is that Israelis don't adhere to signs. And we had to sue the bus drivers for damages, and we won 13 out of 13 cases. Bus drivers had to pay between 8,000 to 12,000 shekel in damages, and we found out that bus drivers actually talk to each other, and now this nonsense is done. Now we went to El Al, our national carrier. Women were reporting to us that sometimes an ultra-Orthodox person refuses to sit next to a woman, holds up the whole flight. Everyone, instead of pressuring him, because he has to answer to God, they pressure her. Why don't you move? Well, don't be a feminist. Does it matter if you sit at 17A or 17B? We're all going to be late. Why don't you? They're pushing her. We were looking for a perfect case, and we found her. She's 81. Her name is Renee Rabinovich, and she was flying from Newark to Tel Aviv, and the flight attendant asked her to move. She moved. He said, closer to first class. Okay, she traveled business. She moved closer to first class. But after 2 hours, she wondered, hey, why? She went back to her previous seat, and she asked the guy near the window, did you ask for me to be moved? And he said, yes. My religion forbids me to sit next to you. She's Orthodox. She got pissed. She complained. El Al hired the most expensive lawyer in Israel, Yigal Arnon, to fight us. We learned from him delay tactics that we didn't know exist in the book. 1 year of delay tactics. And after a year of delay, here is what El Al had to say. Renee did not resist. Renee complained too late. Familiar? At 81, she says, other than stripping, I will do anything a flight attendant asks me. And too late? She complained 2 hours after takeoff. When she walked into the courtroom with her cane, a Holocaust survivor from Auschwitz, born in Belgium, with her kids, there isn't a judge in Israel that wouldn't award her the full damages. Not only did she win, but we were able to secure from El Al that for 8 months they will train all their workers to what to do when an ultra-Orthodox person refuses to sit down. And the new regulation is, sir, if you don't sit down, because your boarding pass is a contract, if you don't sit down, you will have to leave the plane, you will forfeit your ticket, and your bags will be gone. That's what's going to happen. As a result, wait. It is now, here is what you're supposed to do, and I will, outside I have many flyers, your rights on flights. Here is what you're supposed to do if you're on the plane and something like this happens. Don't be assertive. Put on your most innocent face and turn to the flight attendant and ask her what to do. If you comply to social pressure or withstand social pressure, not interesting. Ask the flight attendant. And if the flight attendant, with a gesture of the hand or any comment, encourages you to move, it is worth $18,000. Okay? So please, then you call me. Make my day. $18,000. You will fly business back and forth 3 times for free. So just do that. We also fight for LGBT rights first because it's correct to do so, but besides because the discrimination against LGBT in Israel is very based on Judaism. In fact, in my town, in Jerusalem, the only time in the city's history where the imam, the Muslim imam, and the Roman Catholic bishop and the chief rabbi of the city signed a document together, it was not to save someone's life, but rather it was to stop the gay parade and incite against gay pride. As a result of this incitement, maybe you know, people were stabbed in Jerusalem in the gay parade. And in fact, one 16-year-old, Shira Banki, Zichronah Livracha, was killed by an ultra-Orthodox zealot. He's in jail now, but there's signs every year towards the gay parade. Ashrecha Ishai Shlisel, you are blessed, Ishai, that you are in jail for the sake of Torah. How to interpret Torah is something that every one of us has the right to do. And if it's interpreted in a terrible way in Israel, we have to Shrei Gewalt. We have to say this is wrong. A recent bill that passed in Israel, the nation state bill, says that the state of Israel will now take charge of your lame Jewish identity. We will now export the bankrupt product that we call Judaism in Israel. We're now going to export it over to you and teach you what a Jewish identity should be. It doesn't say that Israel will now recognize the diversity and the lively Judaism that you have here. No, it's one way. We're going to teach you. Did I mention chutzpah already? So, one of the things that is most disturbing to us is that rabbis in Israel allow themselves to incite against the very large Arab minority of Israelis. Let me remind you that there are Israeli citizens who are Muslim and Christian. They save our lives in the hospitals and clinics. They are our doctors, our healers, our firemen, our policemen. You can't go to an Israeli emergency room for more than 2 minutes without being saved by an Arab. In fact, in a recent study, we showed that more Jewish lives is saved every day by Arabs than have participated in terror in the last 70 years, every day. They are 23% of Israelis. They're 1.3 million people. They speak Hebrew better than most of your rabbis. They are full Israelis. Did I make it very clear that there is? So some rabbis, not all, but some state-paid rabbis, incite against them. One of the rabbis, the rabbi of the Pat neighborhood in Jerusalem, stood in front of 500 people demonstrating outside the Jewish Arab school, the hand-in-hand school, Yad B'Yad, and he said out loud, the question arises, why do Arabs have 2 legs? Since they are donkeys, they should have 4 legs. They have 2 legs so they could clean and build for us. A few years later, after he said that, the first grade of Yad B'Yad was burnt, was arsoned. We think that if there was punishment against his incitement, maybe this would not have happened. We harangued the system, made the Ministry of Justice read letters every day. Eventually, they took him to court. Here is the sentence of the one rabbi that we were able to get to court: 6 months of community service in his own yeshiva. If a Muslim imam or any religious leader would have said things like that about Jews, he would have been in jail. We don't have your First Amendment. We actually take seriously incitement, no freedom of speech there. It carries a 5-year imprisonment. And when it comes to rabbis, they seem to be above the law. Maybe I should remind you that when our prime minister was murdered in the 4th of November 1995, the person who murdered him, Yigal Amir, who's sitting now in Israeli jail, is an ultra-Orthodox Jew that observes all 613 612 of the commandments. He observes all of them except this little one of thou shalt not shoot your prime minister in the back. So we are very worried about the scourge of racism in Israel. As Americans, you may understand a little bit about the gist of the racism. Much of the incitement is about Arabs wanting Jewish women. They're after our wives, our daughters, and our mothers. Let's take a baseball bat and beat them in the beach. Is that familiar, this kind of incitement? We have it coming out of the mouths of rabbis. We decided to fight back. We did two things. One, we documented where shared society works in Israel, and we found that the enormous health system in Israel, something very good is happening there. Jews and Arabs are teams. And we also opened the first racism crisis center in Israel's history, a religious movement, and we are modeling it after people that we didn't know, but we got to meet in Montgomery, Alabama. Rabbi Satat went to Montgomery, Alabama, and met the Jewish founders of the Southern Poverty Law Center. So we are learning from them. Boy, you know a lot about racism here. We're learning from them, and we are modeling after them. I've heard me before, so I'm going to stop now and ask to, but wait a minute. You come. I wanted to share with your rabbi the very subversive shirt that we wore this gay parade in Israel. This is a very subversive statement. It says, "Ve'avta l'reacha kamocha." Beware. So love, that one about loving your neighbor as yourself? So that's what we wore. It comes in all these colors of the rainbow, and we have them for sale if you allow us.
Of course.
One more thing. I have a clipboard here. For those of you who don't read my newsletter, is there anyone who reads my newsletter? Is it any good?
Yes.
Okay, those who are not reading, if you want to read every week what our special mischief of the week is, please sign up, and Rabbi Noah has a clipboard here, and please.
Okay, so, I'm ready. All right, she's ready for questions. So if you have a question, I'll bring you a microphone, and then you get the first one. There you are. The hand went up first.
I have a question about the airplane, the El Al case. What would happen if it was a different airline, like say in the United States?
This is true for all the 19 carriers who bring people to Israel. We have tried it with El Al, but this is the law of Israel now. You cannot ask a person, you see, because gender is something you can't change because of a flight. So you can't be discriminated this way. And these people would never get away if they said, I'm not willing to sit next to a black person. So how come we were able to tolerate this with women for so long? So enough is enough.
Here you go.
Hi, Anat. Can you give us an update on Women of the Wall?
Just remind me, where is it? Okay. So I'm wearing the new Women of the Wall talit. You see what the rabbi is wearing is our winter model. You think I'm a social activist? I'm really a schmatty salesperson? So this is the summer model, and it comes with the kippah, very nice. And get this, hers costs $250. Ours, this one, the summer one, it's $200. Because yours is handmade and this is machine made, but it's really the same mothers on all four corners, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. But on the atara, it says, let me hear your voice because your voice is harmonious, and let me see how beautiful you are, from the Song of Songs. So if you wanted a talit, this is the time to take it. What's happening in Women of the Wall? Women of the Wall negotiated with the Prime Minister of Israel for 3 years and came up with a compromise. There will be 2 plazas at the wall. One, ultra-Orthodox as it is today, with the violent ushers and the pouncing on women to wear different kind of schmattes there, and grandma climbing on a plastic chair to get a look at the bar mitzvah boy, and women not allowed to read Torah. This will continue on the left side of the wall. There'll be a bigger plaza on the right side where Robinson's Arch archaeological site is now, and that area will be egalitarian, equal, and free for all. We will run it. We will employ the ushers. We'll be very nice. We will offer men and women a talit. We will allow a lot of freedoms there. We will allow the Pope to come without asking him to take off his crucifix, as they do on the left. We will allow a blind person to come with a seeing eye dog. We will certainly allow a community like yours to stand together and have your rabbi lead you in prayer, and Scott too. There will be one thing we won't allow: a partition of any kind. In 2016, the Prime Minister of Israel, leading his government, voted 15-5 to pass and accept the Kotel Agreement. In 2017, he reneged, betrayed our trust, your trust, and decided that he's freezing the Kotel Agreement. You got angry, but not angry enough. We would like you to be a little more angry. Those of you who want to join the Women of the Wall on the 8th of March 2019, it's one of these rare occasions where the International Women's Day, March 8th, falls on Rosh Chodesh, on the new month. We want to be 1,000 women going to the Kotel. We will give those of you that we feel Netanyahu will have the most scruples about to hold a Torah scroll and try to carry it into the women's section. Let him arrest all of us. That's what we want to do on March 8th. If you were thinking of coming to Israel, this is a great time to come. Rabbi, please consider.
Yeah.
You're invited.
Thank you. I have right over here, Norm.
Hey, these are just amazing advances and improvements that you've made. What about the basic issue of having the reform movement and the conservative movement be accepted?
Well, in a recent study, 11% of Israelis said that they would rather have a reform or conservative rabbi in their lives rather than an Orthodox one. 11%. Do you know what percentage of Israelis on this study said that they are ultra-Orthodox? 12%. So we are, without government support, with a playing field that is not leveled, with discrimination left and right, we're able to capture 11% of the hearts of Israel. That's 1 million people. That's a lot of Israelis. An Israeli that goes to a Reform synagogue is doing something very courageous. He's being a sucker. Because in his taxes, he's paying for all the ultra-Orthodox religious services he doesn't consume. And from his pocket, he's paying for the Reform and Conservative synagogue that he's going to. Israelis hate to be suckers. And 11% of them are willing to do that, to be suckers for liberal Judaism. That's phenomenal.
Hi, my son is thinking about doing a birthright tour of Israel. And actually, with all the things that you were mentioning, the type of thing I'd like him to be exposed to is the things you are talking about the movement toward equality, social justice, etc. If a child is set, a teenager or a young adult goes on a birthright tour, is there a way that person can be involved in your organization?
Look, he's coming for 10 days of rah-rah Israel. And the purpose is to have some skin contact with other Jewish men and women on his trip. He's going to have lots of that. And that's a good enough purpose for 10 days. If he's staying after birthright, if he speaks Hebrew, and if he has a BA in something that is helpful, we can actually use him as a volunteer for a short time. But we are a very professional organization. Let me show off one of our cases in honor of you, Jack, because this is something we made a legal precedent last week, and it's so exciting. We wanted to sue a radio station, one of the 7 frequencies that belonged to the government and was given to the ultra-Orthodox. And that particular radio station, Kol Barama, does not allow women to speak. In fact, in their ads, they say we are clean of women. If you want to have a full day of just Torah, you just listen to Kol Barama, clean of women. We wanted to sue them. However, there are no clients. Who is the ultra-Orthodox woman who's willing to take on a radio station, and a big one at that? Not only did we want to sue them as individuals, we wanted to do our first class action suit. We've never done that before. How do you do a class action suit when the number of clients is 0? What we did is we did a poll. We hired a pollster whose name is Yossi Sarid, and he identified 358 families, people, who knew the answer to 3 questions. Where is Kol Barama on the FM dial? Think of NPR. Do you know where it is on the FM dial? Okay. Name one person who's on the radio. Somebody, can you tell me something from NPR, a name of someone? Well, that's right. And name one program on this show, on this radio. Can you name one? All things considered. Okay, so you are the ones who answered are listeners to NPR. And then he asked this sample of people, would you like to hear women on the radio? We assessed that 10% would say yes, but over 30% said yes, which means that the radio station is losing a third of their listeners. We went to court with our pollster representing a third of the listeners of Kol Barama without one client. When we arrived in court, we asked the head of Kol Barama, David Bukovza at the time, to stand, and we told him, here's how it's going to work. You're going to get a question, you're going to write the answer on a piece of paper, and Orly here will be reading it out loud. What's your name? David Bukovza. No, you need to write it down. Why should I write it down? I can speak, I have a voice. The judge was cracking up. We showed how, by silencing women, even recipes of the day women had to send in a fax. Exercise after birth was given by a man. Everything in the... So the day he came back after court, he hired women, he put women on the air, and Kol Barama became 24 hours a day women talking. We still wanted to sue. So we went down from 104 million shekel to 10 million shekel. And last Monday, the justice of the court said the following. It's come to my attention that 10 million will cause the station to go bankrupt. I'm bringing it down to a serious fine, 1 million. And we won 1 million, and the station is now open to all. Ricky, huh? A class action suit without one real client? Now that's, I told you, come to Israel and just sit at our legal discussion. You would love the creativity, how we outsmart the system.
Can you tell us anything about what happened at Kol HaNeshama over the high holidays and what, if any, role Iraq is playing in that?
So there is a Kol HaNeshama member sitting right here. And if you could tell what happened. Rabbi Noah Satat is the future of our organization. We are in transition, ladies and gentlemen. She's the next big thing.
So during the high holidays, the Reform movement has its own regular synagogue minyanim and also opens many more. And we really reach tens of thousands of Israelis during the holidays. And during Sukkot, we had 2 incidences of attacks of our synagogues, one of my congregation, Kol HaNeshama in Jerusalem, and another vandalism in our congregation in Tel Aviv. We're not sure who the perpetrators were. We have submitted complaints to the police, and we will follow up. In Kol HaNeshama, they were doing the hakafot, and somebody threw a very big rock at the service. It wasn't, I don't know if it was aimed at the Torah. And in Beit Daniel, they did vandalism and graffiti. No, but nobody was hurt. Thank God nobody was hurt. So there. do it together. Okay.
Well, it's perfect for my question because I'm proud to say that my daughter, Marissa, is currently a student in Yerushalayim at Hebrew Union College and Rabbinic School. So I'm wondering what the both of you, do with the students there when they're spending their 1 year there to educate them, they all love Israel, but they have a lot of angst. So what do you do to work with those students?
No, if I can ask you, what would you like to do with these students? And then we'll answer that we're doing none of it. But what would you like to do?
I think that one of the things that your daughter and the big challenge of, I think, the leadership of our movement, and specifically the young leadership of our movement around Israel, is the two leading competing narratives around Israel. One is the Hasbara narrative of the Israeli government that basically says that the IDF is the most moral army in the world and Israel can do no wrong and we have no partner. And really young people are sick of that narrative altogether, and maybe older people are too. And the other narrative says there's a huge moral crisis in Israel, and our response to it is BDS. And it is really onto our movement, I think, to develop the middle narrative that says there's a huge moral crisis, and our response is to engage more and to be partners in finding solutions to the multitude of problems that we see. And I occasionally work with rabbinic students, and I have great faith in their ability to do so. We have little access to the students while they're in Jerusalem.
So if they come to the wall and all hell broke loose, they suddenly have to leave because their Hebrew teacher is standing there with a stopwatch. Jill, when you were there, because they can't be late to Hebrew class. What Hebrew words do they need to learn when they're fighting for Torah at the holiest site of the Jewish people? So I have criticism of the priorities of what they do. But your daughter is in a phenomenal group. We marched with them at the gay parade. She has a shirt like that. They were just so active, and this year is a very good bunch.
Yeah.
That's because the school year hasn't started. Once it started, and she was able to make the July one. They burnt the Siddur. Yeah. They were all there.
So, if you have a rabbinic student in Jerusalem and they happen to have a spouse or a partner, what could you suggest for that spouse or partner?
Come clean, Eli. Well, Eli, when Jill was doing her rabbinic year, Eli volunteered at the Israel Religious Action Center. And I think he should say what he did. Aren't you the best person to answer? What does a spouse do?
Well, I worked with Joel Katz, who was then in charge of the overseas relations, primarily U.S., but everywhere else. And we worked together to augment programs for Iraq to reach out and to be connected with the non-Israeli Jewish world.
And Eli's English came in very handy because he does speak the language very well. So yes, thank you. And we have 30,000 people reading our newsletter that now the clipboard brings you in. But we'd like to double that number. In fact, triple and quadruple it. If there are 2 million Reform Jews in North America, we would like to have 250,000 of them reading this newsletter and being active in engaging with Israel and changing our reality.
We're going to take our last question right here. Alita, go for it.
When you were talking about one of the issues of the LGBT community and things that are taking place in Jerusalem, I couldn't help but think about Tel Aviv, which seems like such a free, open, crazy place that is so different. And it seems to me that there's multiple Israels, one in Jerusalem, one we see in Tel Aviv. And I'm wondering, how does Tel Aviv manage to get away with these things? And also, do you have do you have resources or do you have partners that are in Tel Aviv or in places like that can help you? Do you work mostly with religious groups, or do secular groups work with you? And explain all that to me, because like I said, Tel Aviv was just like Manhattan to me, so.
Okay. So first of all, there are multiple Israels. I mean, I think that the first division that comes to my mind, specifically about the LGBT community, is not Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. It's secular Israelis versus Orthodox and ultra-Orthodox Israelis and Arab Israelis. And for every one of those populations, it's a completely different reality. And so Jerusalem has many more Arabs and Orthodox and ultra-Orthodox people than Tel Aviv, and that's a result of that. And it's true that Tel Aviv is a very open city in terms of LGBT people, but I also want to remind all of us that 2 years before the murder in the Jerusalem parade, there was a horrendous murder in the gay organization in Tel Aviv, where 2 young people were murdered. So it's not that Tel Aviv is completely a safe haven, but it's a different reality. And I think that in terms of both the feminist struggle and the LGBT struggle, it is like that everywhere. Every country that has an LGBT rights struggle has the San Francisco and the New York City, and also has Utah and Missouri. And some of the progress gets made in the New York or the Tel Aviv, and some of the progress gets made in the front lines. That's why it's important to work on both levels. And we at IRAC work nationally. We don't work only with the Jerusalem community, although we have represented the Jerusalem community on many occasions, creating precedents that help all of the gay organizations all over Israel. But for instance, our last case in terms of adoption for same-sex couples was with an organization in Tel Aviv, the Gay Fathers Association. So we really try to work with a broad network of LGBT organizations.
When I go to Tel Aviv, I take my passport. It's like another country. However, on LGBT, you're right, but not on Arabs. In fact, there were going to be municipal elections on the 31st of October in Israel, and the campaign that the Likud has chosen to have in Tel Aviv this week is them or us. And the them are black people. He's showing asylum seekers on one part of the poster, or us, showing white Jews. Them showing Arabs, or us, showing Jews. And the them or us campaign is all over Tel Aviv now. And just now we saw that there's a group of people who are posting, that's Tel Aviv, yeah? They're posting over these posters a new poster that says, them is us. Instead of them or us, it shows them is us, and it shows the diversity of Tel Aviv and all that. Tel Aviv can get away with it because Tel Aviv is not on the dole. Even though it is not the largest city in Israel, what is the largest city of Israel? By far, Jerusalem. Double, triple, bigger than all of them. Tel Aviv is wealthy. There's a strong business sector there. And the mayor of Tel Aviv is not on the dole from the government. So when the mayor of Tel Aviv, Huldai, announced that he doesn't want 2 rabbis in town, he doesn't want a Sephardi rabbi and an Ashkenazi rabbi. 1 is enough. He got away with it. What he can't get away with is, for example, public transportation on Shabbat. This is something we're now fighting for. We think this will soon happen. Before I say goodbye.
No, it's okay. We're actually going to go one
okay.
last quick one, really quick by Anita.
Okay.
It's really quick. Are you separate from Hidush?
Chidush, we're relatives of Chidush. Chidush is founded by Uri Regev. Yeah. Uri Regev is the founder of the Israel Religious Action Center. He was the director before me. So we love the director of Chidush. Chidush, however, is not part of the reform movement. It is all sorts of religious streams together. We are the reform movement. So we are We represent the largest stream of Jewish life in the world, more Reform than Conservative and Orthodox combined. Before I say goodbye, I went to the Howard Cosell parking lot at the Hebrew University. I picked the prettiest rock there. It says Shehechianu, which is the first word of the Shehechianu prayer. And I brought it all the way to you, Bernie, because you're the architect of this visit. You envisioned this years ago. You introduced me to Rabbi Heidi. Because of you, I'm here. And this is a rock for you to hold on there. So, Donna, could you pick it up for him?
I'll get it for him.
Rabbis, will give it to him. So I want to thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom. If love is what this is many years of marriage talking. If love is what remains after we know the truth, I want to believe that even after knowing what you heard tonight, you still love Israel, committed to Israel, and willing to march forward in making Israel the place its own people envisioned. Full and complete equality to all our inhabitants without difference of gender or race or religion. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Oh, there we go. Now let's go. We are going to, in just a moment, conclude, so please be seated. Oh, that's mine, yes, thank you. But first, I'd like to invite forward briefly Jack Holmes, the president of our congregation, to make a few announcements of some things that are happening while he's doing that. Some things that Jack does not have in his book is also that we want to invite everybody to the Sisterhood Membership Luncheon. It's on Sunday, October 28th from 10 to 2. Linda Shane will be speaking, very appropriate to be announcing this. She's going to be speaking about how Jewish women are portrayed in the media. So that is on October 28th. Also, 2 weeks from tonight, on October 19th, we have Refugee Shabbat. Did you have that over there? No. Cool. No. You're on. You're gonna get this next. We're gonna be along with the with HIAS, the Hebrew Immigration Aid Society. It is national, Refugee Shabbat that weekend. So we are going to have a special speaker, Dr. Mai Fun, who is perfect. You can borrow it. But you don't get to keep it. It's mine.
There are many like it, but this one is yours.
That one's mine. She's going to be speaking. Dr. Maifun is from UCI, but she was originally from Vietnam and left when she was 6 years old. She has an incredible story to be talking about and sharing with us as we share in the stories of refugees and how we can be participants and partners in the refugee crisis that is not only in our country but throughout the world. And so I hope that you will come and join us on October 19th for that very Shabbat. Jack, it's all yours. Nope.
I'm going to try. Thank you, Rabbi Cohen and Scott Singer, for the beautiful service tonight. I love that song that you guys did together. That was just amazing. Special thank you to Rabbi Noah Satat and Anat Hoffman for your insightful and interesting discussion tonight. Thank you for your courage and refusal to give up and accept less than total equality. Keep fighting the good fight. Okay? Tomorrow, Torah study is going to be led by Susan Jasper as we study Parashah Bereshit. Creation story, tree of knowledge, good and evil, Cain and Abel, all that really wonderful, fun stuff. It's going to be absolutely fascinating, and I know Susan is going to do an awesome job. This Sunday, the 7th, is the Paper Midrash Study Program. This will be a paper cutting and art project where you study text and then create your own visual midrash. On October the 15th, we begin the I Engage program. It meets monthly and is 10 classes long through April of next year. We will study Jewish values and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the complex meanings of peace in the Jewish tradition. In addition to, and as a part of, the I Engage program on October the 11th, the Rose Project of the Federation presents Ilana Steinhain, Director of Faculty and Scholar in Residence of the Sholom Hartman Institute of North America, who will be talking about Israel and the foundation of values. On November 2nd, we have a very special Shabbat service as we continue to celebrate our 75th anniversary. There are going to be many special moments, and it's going to be a meaningful service, and you really need to be here. On Saturday the 3rd, we'll celebrate our anniversary with our Diamonds Are Forever Gala. The invitations have already got out in the mail. Please RSVP. It's going to be a very fun evening with family, friends, and community. Then on Sunday the 4th, we welcome the return of our cherished Czech Torah scroll, newly repaired and ready to be used in our most sacred and meaningful religious rites and celebrations. This will be a very special return ceremony for the scroll itself, followed by a service and then a family barbecue. It's going to be a memorable day that you do not want to miss. Please look at our Shabbat bulletin to see what the mitzvah meals needs for this week. And where's Sarah? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, Sarah, our gift shop will be open after the service. Thank you all, and again, thank you so much, Anat. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all.
We conclude our service now as we turn to page 282. Aleinu l'shabeach, please rise. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lategru la'yotzeh b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Our thoughts now turn to those who are no longer with us, yet memory of each of them is truly a blessing. On this Shabbat, we remember those who have recently departed, Bonnie Shupak and Carol Lebanoff. We remember those whose yahrzeits we recall on this Shabbat and during this coming week. Zella Dean Brainin, Max Cherson, Bernie Dubrow, Louis Feingold, Aaron Pfluger, Helen Pfluger, Adolf Fraley, Bertha Grossman, Morris Herzig, Harold Kahn, Hyman Kaplan, Virgil Kefauver, David B. Keller, Lily Kleiner, Lester Cohn, Louis Harry Crone, Lou LePan, Betty F. Marshall, Richard Matassarin, Faye Miller, Anna Negrin, Milton Nyman, Ida Romanek, Beatrice Rubenstein, Jack Savrin, Jerry Schusterman, Richard Silver, Sally Singer, Rose Zuckerman, Bernie Wasserman, Mamie Weinstein, and Simon Yargota. If there is anyone here who is in the period of mourning of Shiva, Shloshim, or Shana, or is observing the yahrzeit of a loved one whose name I have not called, I invite you as I face in your direction, please share their names with us. For all of them and for all those who have given their lives al Kiddush Hashem, for the sanctification of God's holy name, and for all those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we join together, page 294, Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yortei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'gala uv'izman kariv, v'imru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mavorach Le'elam Olomei Olmaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, Vitadar, vitale, vitalal, shemei b'kudasha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say together, amen. Eliana and William, can I have the two of you come on up here and give me a hand real quick with our motzi? So come on up, guys. Thank you very much. Awesome. Time for a snack. Whoop. Shabbat Shalom. There we go. All right, guys, you ready? Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon. Good. Take off your piece. Take some back to the back row. There you go. It's the good stuff. There you are. Rabbi Noah, I have a strange custom that was taught to me by my rabbi. Our blessings come not only from our hands, but also from God on high. There you go. If you all start doing that at Kol Nishama in Israel, I'm going to be really excited. I will pass it on to Rabbi Zwerin. We join together with our closing song of Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, of being able to say, let us all bring peace together. Please join with us.
Sing with me. Hey, ho, ho, hey. Hey, ho, ho, hey. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'hakol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Salam Aleinu ve'hakol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Oh, Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Hey, oh, oh, hey, hey, oh, oh, hey. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Please come join us for our Oneg and our social hall.